All right, let's dive into a really fascinating and honestly, a pretty counterintuitive idea. We've all been taught that grabbing a super low interest rate on your mortgage is like winning the financial lottery. But what if that amazing deal is actually holding you back? I mean, really think about that for a second. Could that incredible 2.5% rate you locked in be a pair of golden handcuffs? Is it possible it's keeping you from a much, much bigger financial prize down the road? It sounds crazy, I know, but stick with me. Let's break down the numbers and see what's really going on. Okay, so to really dig into this, we need to set the scene. Let's imagine a homeowner who is in a situation that, honestly, most of us would dream of. They've seemingly done everything right. So here's the deal. They've got an $800,000 loan, but check out that interest rate, just 2.5%. That is fantastic. It means they have a nice, predictable $3,600 payment every month for the next 25 years. This is the dream, right? This is financial security. You know, all the traditional advice would scream the same thing. Do not let go of that 2.5% rate. No way. Just ride it out for the next quarter century and enjoy that cheap debt. But what if we challenge that idea? What if there's a totally different path to take? So let's meet our challenger. It's called the all-in-one, or AIO strategy. Now, it's a really interesting approach that kind of merges your mortgage with your checking account. But before we get into the cool parts, let's just get the big, scary number out of the way first. Yep, you're seeing that right. If you were to follow this alternative strategy, you would end up paying an extra $136,000 in total interest. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, this explainer's over. Case closed. Why on earth would anyone choose to do this? And that's exactly the right question to ask. It seems completely backwards, doesn't it? But the answer has less to do with the cost of interest and everything to do with the value of something else entirely. So let's quickly peek under the hood and see how this thing actually works. So think of the AIO loan like a big financial hub. It's your mortgage and your checking account rolled into one. Here's the magic. Every single paycheck, in this case, $7,500 every 2 weeks, goes directly against the loan. Bam, that principal balance drops instantly. Then you just pay all your normal monthly bills, $11,000 worth, out of that same account. Because your principal balance is lower for most of the month, the daily interest calculation is lower too. It's a simple, powerful way to use your cash flow to just demolish that principal balance. All right, now that we get how it works, let's put these two strategies in a head-to-head race. The finish line? A zero balance on that mortgage. Let's see who gets there first. And whoa, there it is. This is the AIO's first big superpower. The traditional loan, as expected, takes the full 25 years. But the AIO plan, it crushes that mortgage in just 11.7 years. We're not talking about shaving off a few months here. We are talking about becoming completely debt-free more than a decade sooner. So the AIO plan gives our homeowner this incredible gift, a 13.3-year head start on a mortgage-free life. But here's the thing. Being mortgage-free isn't the finish line. It's the starting gun. Because what you do with all that freed up time and money, well, that's what changes the entire game. This is where that extra $136,000 in interest starts to look less like a cost and more like one of the best investments you could ever make. So really, what could you do if you suddenly had an extra $3,600 in your pocket every single month for over 13 years? Well, let's play out one possible scenario. What if our homeowner took that old $3,600 mortgage payment and just started investing it, say, into a simple S&P 500 index fund? If we assume a pretty standard 10% average return, after those 13.3 years, they'd be sitting on almost $1.2 million. Unreal. And this really just frames the choice perfectly, doesn't it? Would you rather focus on saving $136,000 in interest over 25 years, or would you rather have the opportunity to build over $1 million in wealth during that exact same time? When you put it that way, the decision starts to look a whole lot different. But okay, let's be real for a minute. Maybe going full throttle and investing every last penny isn't your style. What if you want to, actually enjoy some of that newfound financial freedom? Let's check out a more balanced approach. We'll call it the splurge option. All right, so in this version, for those 13 plus years after the house is paid off, you take that old $3,600 payment and you split it. You give yourself an immediate lifestyle upgrade, $2,000 a month just for fun. Vacations, hobbies, whatever you want. And you still invest a very healthy $1,600 a month for the future. You get to do both. And look at the results of this balanced plan. I mean, this is just incredible. you still build up an investment portfolio worth over $500,000. And on top of that, you've also spent more than $312,000 on just living life. This isn't about sacrifice, it's about having your cake and eating it too. So let's just lay it all out on the final scorecard. After 25 years, the person who held on to that perfect 2.5% loan, they have a paid-off house. That's great. But the person who went with the AIO plan, well, after 25 years, they also have a paid-off house and have for over 13 years. Plus, they have over $500,000 in investments, and they've already spent over $300,000 on amazing life experiences. The difference is just, it's night and day. And that brings us to the big final question. All the conventional wisdom tells us to obsessively manage our interest rate. But maybe, just maybe, the most valuable thing we should be managing is our time. A low interest rate can save you thousands of dollars, for sure. But as we just saw, using your time wisely could potentially make you millions. It's a total shift in perspective. So let me ask you, what would you do with a 13-year head start?